So, I was doing my workout, and I was kind of trying to think about what I wanted to say here, because I knew I wanted to do this video. Right now, it's a big talking point. A lot of people are talking about it. And I need to say something, right? Well, I'm buying it. And I think I can easily justify it. So let's go ahead and start here. First off, nobody has to justify their purchase with their money of a thing they like and or want that they can afford within staying responsible to you. It's not your collection. My collection is my collection, and your collection is your collection. You collect the way you want, the things you want, the reasons you want, and I will do the same. That's the greatest thing about this hobby, is sharing it and knowing that because money is not infinite, we don't all have the same things. We just don't. And there comes my justification. Guys, if you've been here for a while, you may already know this, don't have a Hulk. I have a gray Hulk, and I made somewhat of a big deal when I got him because it was a gray Hulk, and I was like, I got a Hulk finally for the shelf, and he fits my Fantastic Four. I love it. Excuse me, but I still don't have a green Hulk. And I have never had one. I never saw one that spoke to me. I never came across one that made me go, oh, that's the one. That's the one. Let's drop the 40. Let's drop the 25. Let's drop the 50. Let's do it. Let's go. It never happened. And then when I did find a couple that I liked, I either missed the timing, so I couldn't get it. Well, that's about it. I missed the timing. I seen it. I said, that's a good one. That one I would buy. And then it was gone. And then I ended up spending money somewhere else. And I said to myself, sooner or later, Hulk will come back out. Here's the thing. When we talk about action figures, because I'm seeing a lot of people that are talking about how this figure is terrible, how it's not worth it, maximum blah, 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 overpriced, this and that. And some of these people cannot understand why somebody like me would want it. Well, here's why. That right there is my first Captain America. And we talked about it in that video. He didn't come with his shield. He came with a broken shield, but not the shield. And I talked about how that's kind of a problem, because everybody starts somewhere. Everybody has a first Professor X, a first Jean Grey, a first Wolverine, a first Spider-Man. And when you get one, and you may only want one, you want it to be good. In fact, you want it to be the best. So, there is one that a lot of people seem to be referencing. But let's say that we just simply can't do it. Right now, Maximum Hulk costs $60. That's a lot. And even with shipping and handling, and then we add on top the tariff, if that's applicable when we get it, we're looking at like a $70 figure, maybe even a $74 figure. I get it. That's a lot. I get it. That's a lot. I do not deny that for a second. But let's check our options, shall we? Let's save some money. Well, let's take a look. Let's see. Oh, there's an AliExpress $24 Hulk. I can look right at that and tell you that is not for me. I don't want that thing. That That looks funny to me. I don't know. Something about that picture. That, I don't think I want it. Ooh, $30.99 Hulk from Walmart. Ooh, there we go. That could be the one, right? Oh, look at that. That's promising right there, right? That's what we want right there, right? Let's look at the other pictures. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hold on a minute. Well, what is going on here? Well, that guaranteed right off the bat, especially looking at all of this right here. I don't want that. That's one of those third-party sellers that's selling me some bull crap. Oh, there's an AliExpress that looks like I probably don't want it. Oh, look. That is ridiculous. Somebody is already on here trying to sell the maximum, basically see, people like that have already got this and they're trying to put it out for $100 and they don't even have it yet. Screw that guy, right? And that's fair. But look here. There's Amazon. That's fairly official, I would imagine. I'm not going to click on it because all my Amazon stuff is signed in and you would see my name and all my stuff. But like $100? $110, more than likely the actual thing. $100. $138 for this old Red Hulk, which would be cool to have a Red Hulk, which right now, there's a pretty good Red Hulk option. He's not going to be like this, but I actually don't hate that new Red Hulk figure from the movie. It's not bad. That's pretty solid. Here's an $80 grayish Hulk. Now, I'm red-green deficient, so that's probably just gray, but I have a gray Hulk, and I don't need that. Here's the Red Hulk that I wouldn't mind owning. Yeah, it's from the movie, but it actually doesn't bother me. I don't think that's a bad figure. But I don't need a Red Hulk right now. I need $140. And he comes with an accessory. A first appearance Wolverine for an accessory. First off, that's not an accessory. I won't even make that argument. I saw that in a video not too long ago where somebody was like, my Hulk that I have even came with an extra accessory, a whole second figure. You bought a 2-pack. Let's be honest about what it is. Let's not play games and mince here. I don't want Suit Wolverine. That's not going to do it for me. Here's an old $85 Wolverine that I don't, it's the movie one. I don't necessarily want that. Here's a $160 sweet looking Hulk right there. I think I've been saying Wolverine because I got myself mixed up. Compound Hulk. I don't need that. Compound Hulk again. Very old Hulk that I don't think actually holds up. Toy Hulk. Look, all I did was go in here and type Marvel Legends Hulk. $180. That's the deal right there. That's what I want. That's what I want right there. $180. And I can have me the best Wolverine. The Wolverine that other people are pivoting as the Wolverine that I should have. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. Yes, this thing is expensive. But for me, just me, I don't know how it's going to affect you, but for me, the options at my disposal, it is actually cheaper for me and a better deal for me to get the Maximum Series Hulk. He is, 1, cheaper, 2, arguably maybe a better quality. That's arguable. I don't have it in hand. I can't say that for sure. But I can go by general experience that Marvel Legends, however much we want to crap on it, and not that it doesn't deserve it a lot of the times, Marvel Legends tends to release better sculpts as they go. Arguably, in such tiny steps that it either never feels like much of an advancement, or it never feels like it's really important to upgrade. You can get the really good Spider-Man and not worry about the next 5 or 6 that come out. That's fair. But for some people, they don't have a Spider-Man, and they want the best option right out the gate. to avoid having to get another one for as long as possible. There's nothing wrong with that. For me, that is this Hulk. I've had a couple people ask me if I'm getting it. And I've said, yes, I want it. And I've had a couple people say, it's not worth it. It's ridiculous. It's overpriced. Maximum profit. You're right for what it's worth. I will not argue against that per se. I will tell you that the idea for the Maximum line made it sound like these were premium, all-new sculpts from the ground up. Every time. And I'd even mentioned in that video where I was looking at the releases that something seemed funny about the Hulk. It felt like there was some reuse going on. But also some ideas that I didn't mind, and 3 head sculpts that I was kind of happy were like from different eras, so you can create 3 different styles of Hulk. You know what? Okay. Now there is something to argue here that could be a bad point. The body. That chest. That's kind of cool. It's like a Storm collectible. They use a lot of parts like that. For what it's worth, McFarlane uses a lot of parts like that. Mandatory Power Girl appearance, the diapers that they wear. This is not a plastic, it's like a rubberish material oftentimes. And it works for what it is. It does what it's supposed to do. But one has to ask, how long before that rubberish material starts to crack? Break? What if it decolors? What if it gets a discoloration, right? And then this chest turns a yellowish color and the rest of him's green. That's not going to look very great, right? That's going to be a problem. And to that, I do actually have a response. And once again, it's a response that I think some people will understand where I'm coming from and some people will genuinely just have a hate on and not want to hear me out. But look, guys, the argument that the toy is not made to last. I'm a 40-year-old man. Okay? We'll just put it out there. I've even done videos talking about how old I am. As a 40-year-old man, most toys that I've had in my life did not survive the test of time. R2-D2s that became brittle, stormtroopers that became yellow, Spider-Man whose arms and joints basically went dead over time and just kind of like would no longer hold up, where you'd put the arm up and it'd just fall right back down. G.I. Joes that just wiggle all over the place and have no tightness left in them whatsoever. Rubber bands that snap on the inside. He-Man figures that can no longer stand up because the rubber on the inside is gone bad. And other figures that had fancy gimmicks that never really were meant to last. It happens. Not every toy survives the test of time. And I have had a ton of them that didn't. Suffering everything from, like I said, plastics that turn brittle to discoloration to things of that nature. You never know. You never know how long these things are going to last. And if you were under the impression that you were going to buy a Marvel Legends Hulk, just one, and it would be just as perfect as the day you bought it until you died. Maybe. I'm not saying toys don't last. I'm saying that a lot of them, we have learned over time, didn't last in the same state. They just didn't. There's a reason that some of these figures are at premium prices now on the aftermarket, because if you can get them in nearly perfect condition, it's rare. They've either been played with, they've been broken, they've got discolored, the bands no longer work the same, the inner rubber piece, like remember these figures? The reason she blew my mind when I bought her from the toy store is she can still stand up. Like, I could put her on a flat surface and she stands with no problem whatsoever. Her paint job is still immaculate. I found her in a bag. And I have no idea how long she'd been in that bag. I even took this armor off to check, and there was no bleed from this armor onto her paint job. It's kind of magnificent, because I can't tell you how many of these I've seen where the bands on the inside have gone bad, they've rotted, and the figures don't stand up anymore. They don't move right anymore. They're like awkward, or the seams have come apart. Or those figures that used to have like the one screw in the back that kind of held the whole figure together, and then that screw would like rust. Every toy we buy is subject to the passage of time, just like me and you. I can promise you from the workout I did before I came up here to do this video that 22-year-old me would probably be laughing at how difficult it is to maintain 4 songs on a heavy bag now. That's a lot. My workout's pretty simple right now. I do a standard run of exercises. I do sit-ups, I do push-ups, I do jumps, not jumping jacks, just like jumps. I do a set of squats, and then I do some stuff with weights, only 50 pounds, nothing big, just enough to kind of get my workout, which I do curls, I do above my head, and then I do, I lay down on the bench, I do press, and then when I'm done with that, I do a set of weighted squats, and then I do 3 to 4 songs, random, it's songs, I turn my phone on and I let it play, and it just plays songs, and I go to town on the heavy bag, and I maintain, and in between each song I give myself about 30 seconds to a full minute rest, and then I go back to work on that heavy bag. Songs can be anywhere from 3 minutes to 5 minutes. And getting to the end of the third song is rough. And it wasn't when I was in my 20s. So I don't know that I can hold it against a toy that gets to be 10, 20, 30, 40 years old, that all of a sudden isn't hanging out. Hey, it's not hanging on like it was back when it was first made. These toys age. And we don't know what the condition of them is going to be. This chest thing, while I actually think it's pretty cool, I would argue that I wouldn't have minded deep cuts. Deep butterfly cuts, I don't think it would have bothered me. I think I would have said, okay. But I will say that it is kind of a cool effect that he can actually kind of like flex, and it kind of pushes his chest out, that he can clap, that he can do the things that he can do, that he can move and lift an arm up and have the other arm back, or he can go into like a boxing stance, or he can just, and there's nothing here. Like, it's cool, it's gimmicky, but it's neat, and it could be a interesting next step into building deeper cut butterfly stuff without like breaking up a sculpt. Because to some people the sculpt is very important, and they don't want butterfly cuts because they feel like this looks ugly. And I get it. But I'm getting it. And I actually think there's an argument to be made that for my situation, it's literally my best option to get a solid Hulk. Because if you've looked at the aftermarket, some of the Hulks that everybody's talking about, I have a Hulk, this Hulk is pointless, there's no way I'm upgrading for some reuse maximum profit Hulk. I'm not going to argue with you. You're right. But you can't necessarily knock somebody that's going to get it, because in some cases, this might literally be their best and cheapest alternative to obtaining a solid Hulk. That then the next time a Hulk comes out, they can be you and go, I've got the maximum Hulk. I don't really feel like it's worth upgrading. It's pointless. I'm not going to just buy whatever garbage they put on the market. I want it. I'm buying it. I can easily justify it. And in the end, that's all that matters. What about you?
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.